The thing that still hits me pretty hard is unconsensual contact. That really strikes a major chord with me. And starting up top, just throwing a banger out there right away.
Mm-hmm.
Irreversible by Gaspar Noé, or Gaspar Noe, depending on how you want to pronounce it. He is...
I assume he's French.
Yeah, I think he's Argentinian, but lives in France now.
Well, I meant the name.
You know, I think he's just a hip dude, so he likes to pronounce things French.
Okay.
Or he's Chilean, I'm not sure. I get the mixed
He's
up.
from Argentina.
He's made some pretty disturbing movies, but Irreversible is the end-all be-all for me. One is I Stand Alone. That has interfamiliar contact.
All right. Familial.
Pretty, yeah, did I say familiar? That one, I Stand Alone, is a lesser-known film by him that's pretty brutal. There's a scene where the butcher is the main guy. He knees a pregnant woman in the belly, which I would never recommend. I would never recommend doing that.
No, apparently gynecologists pretty much agree on that one.
9 out of 10 hate knees to the pregnant belly.
I want to talk to the 10th one. Oh, it's all right. Depends. Whatever.
What kind of knee are we talking about? That's how they...
Is it hard?
And then the daughter is I think just very antisocial, probably because...
He grew up in a strange environment.
Yeah. And he just, befriends her.
Is this a father?
Yeah. So...
It's not it's not common, but it does.
It has happened.
Yeah.
Look at West Virginia. And I'm just joking.
No, that's not right.
I'm just joking. I have many people who have visited there and they hated it.
But they came back alive. So we figure it's okay. Yeah, although, that's a social taboo. I mean, I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm definitely not. But we find it repulsive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's odd, obviously, very much. But I guess the big thing is when you do that, the genes get too
twisted.
Yeah, too
keep it twisted.
Common, because a lot of you knew the Russian royal family.
Yeah, even the English royals.
Well, yeah, right. Because a lot of those royals were all family.
Mm-hmm.
An extended family, and so the one son had hemophilia, and that was from the familiarity of the genes in a relatively small population.
Hemophilia. That's my favorite song, actually.
I know.
And you get the butcher's inner dialogue, which is pretty...
Okay, why do they call him a butcher? I assume he does some things.
Well...
Or is he just
I think it's just...
Cool nickname.
I think it's just a cool nickname. I can't remember why they call him that.
Did you see the movie?
He might be a butcher by profession. I have seen the movie, yeah. It's been about a year and a half.
And you don't know why they call him the butcher?
Because he's kick-ass.
You don't know? Okay. If you don't know, just say I don't know.
That's 13 on my list. Just to give you a little...
Okay. Well, that's... Okay, I mean...
I'm not going to go through the whole list. I do
77 is a bit much, I would think.
I want to touch upon Gaspar Noé up front, because he is, if you're into disturbing movies, he's one of the directors, the tentpole directors, as I would say. Mm-hmm. As is Lars von Trier, but Lars von Trier. Lars von Trier. That's my southern accent.
That's bad.
Next one is Climax. You could kind of argue which one should be higher. Maybe I Stand Alone is more disturbing. It's a dance movie, which you're not going to hear a lot. Where the punch bowl gets dosed with acid.
Like LSD?
Unbeknownst to...
the participants.
Yeah, so there's 13 or 14 dancers just sipping sangria, and they're like they start tripping bad. The head manager of this dance group has her son there with her, and the son gets to drink a little bit of sangria before they know, and doesn't end well for that kid. And another knee to a pregnant woman's stomach, which is pretty gruesome. Someone falls into a fire, like a candle, and their hair turns on fire. And it's that's the chair, everyone, I'm not tooting. So much kinetic energy, colors, motion in the whole film. Super impressive. I actually enjoy the movie, but there's definitely some disturbing stuff there.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
That one I think you would actually like, and like it's not. I don't know, the stuff going on around it. You're like, you get a little groove on while you're watching disturbing stuff. So it's not just like.
Are they dancing most of the time?
Yeah, it's back and forth. And then finally, Irreversible. That's my number one most disturbing. There is a 10-minute grape scene. So read between the lines, drop the G. 10 minutes is a long time.
Ooh, wow.
I think we can agree to that.
So it's like the entire crime.
And the guy does not like the girl. So he's saying some really reprehensible stuff and then like beats the shit out of her after he is done.
Does what he does.
Yeah.
Well, why did he target her? What is it? Just
she's walking.
He doesn't know her beforehand.
No, he's a pimp. We come to find out, and she's walking home from a party because her boyfriend and the friend that they bring with them, they just kind of argue, and she's like, "I'm
out of here.
Yeah, I'm leaving," and she's walking on an underpass. So there's like a ground level road with heavy traffic. And then there's like this little, like it's an alleyway, but it goes below the road, which I guess, is that an underpass?
Yeah.
So she's walking down it, and it's secluded late at night. It's well lit because, it's public. But yeah, they're all alone, and I think he says something to her, and she just ignores him or like doesn't.
Right. And
it just pisses him off so much that starts being physically violent and escalates to a noose being what's the best word? I don't know. Not treated kindly.
Okay. Abused.
Yeah, abused.
Other than like, how does that play into the rest of the movie?
So the premise of the story is, well, there's a revenge tale. The friend and the boyfriend. It starts, you see they beat someone's face in with a fire hydrant. Like a home fire hydrant, like one of those red little things you keep under the sink.
Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher. Okay. I knew I wasn't calling it the right thing.
Like, when you said at home, I'm like, well, we never had one of those in our house.
Like the Hulk must have been... They bash it, I think, in killing the dude they thought did it. It turns out they didn't even get the right guy. Mm-hmm. But they're looking for whoever did it the whole night. And the title plays into it. So it's like you can't undo something
like
seriously traumatic. Yeah. There's no... Once that happens, it's...
Yeah.
And then and at the end of the movie, you find out the girl who was abused was pregnant. So you're seeing a trend between Gaspar Noé and the mistreatment of pregnant women.
So, okay. It's a very, very specific type of disturbing movie.
And you're just staring at me and I'm smiling now. And
it's like, you are so happy with yourself. I found this really creepy movie.
What are your thoughts?
It's sometimes I don't know. There's an allure to those types of movies, though.
It's a litmus test. Can I
It's
make it
the
through
thing
this?
that you don't want to watch, but you're drawn to. Mm-hmm. You know, they would say like a train accidents like that.
And they call it a train accident. They don't call it a train wreck. Call it a train accident.
Well, Hicks called it train wreck, and some were a little more sophisticated.
Yeah.
No, I said that wrong, but you get the idea. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't look away, but you can't whatever. Yeah, I can look away, or I could just stare at it.
Well, yeah. When you're watching the movie, sometimes you're like, well,
would he hurry up?
for one of these, with the 10-minute grape scene, I'm like, this is too fucking much.
Yeah.
It was brutal, and there's no other way to put it.
So, the friend and the boyfriend
Go looking for the perpetrator.
Oh, okay. Afterwards, and then they bash some guy's head in.
And
does that guy does anything ever happen to the
No. We'll cut that.
Rapist?
Don't worry.
grape guy?
The grape salesman.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Not used to that. All right. But,
Well, I did just spring it on you as we're recording, so.
no, I mean, yeah, I should. I mean, I say that word so often, but.
And that's actually read someone discussing this film online. They're like, what was the point? Because they found the three main characters to kind of be like hard to identify with, or
Yeah.
like, because the girl is with the guy, the boyfriend, and he's a prick, and the buddy is actually someone that she had like dated, but not like they weren't
Yeah.
official, and she prefers the guy because he's more selfish and kind of like a cocky,
Yeah.
arrogant. She likes the arrogance about him.
Right, okay. To an extent, I'm sure.
Yeah, to an extent. And it's funny, it takes certain elements that she says she appreciates from him and kind of perverts it in the 10-minute scene.
Okay.
Without going into gross
Yeah,
detail.
I think
Yeah. So you have that going, and it's like, and then they never get. You're supposed to pull for them, right? Because it's told in.
Well, sometimes that's the classic sense of any story is, the protagonist. But sometimes people want to do movies where you don't
I think it's
really
supposed to
pull
be
for anybody.
thought provoking.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly is. Well, you're.
It's just provocative. I don't know.
Provocative and thought-provoking aren't the same thing. Provocative, I mean, they're based on the same word, but provocative just means kind of something that upsets your senses, or your morality, whatever. Thought-provoking, something that makes you think. It's like, well, maybe this act of history or, the way this person's acting isn't what I would normally think. I think, I would think that that's a selfish act, but now I think, maybe, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
So would the middle ground be provocateur?
No.
That's just someone who's being
Well,
provocative?
maybe.
I think
It's
by
someone who's being
upsetting
provocative.
by upsetting you, I think he wants you to examine it and look deeper at it.
It could be. I haven't seen the movie, but it could be just he wants to do a brutal film. Some things are just what's called a character study. Mm-hmm. It's like these people are in this situation. This is how they act. You're not. There's no deeper meaning. It's just this is a slice of life.
And this
Of
feels
this specific
like that
type of people.
Yeah. Despite how grotesque the situation they are in, it does feel rooted in reality.
Those things happen all the time. How many
Oh my
women
gosh,
are,
yeah.
like attacked
And
it's like disturbing. I had no idea.
I think as a guy, you do take it for granted, like how common that is.
Yeah, women are like afraid they never want to be alone at night and probably even in their own apartment.
You assume men are like all noble if you aren't like that yourself.
Right, yeah.
And there are no...
There's a lot of ignoble people
Exactly.
in the world.
And this is very provocative, and I think maybe part of like what he's trying to portray is often so take this for example. If someone passes away,
Yeah.
they're very much painted as an angel. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's in bad taste to speak ill of the dead.
Right.
And I think what he's trying to explore is that, well, she's not even a bad she's not a bad person. She just has flaws, and you're seeing them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So not to paint her as angelic, when that's just not not the case in every case.
It's rarely the case.
Yeah, I mean there might be a 1% where it's like they're just a saint.
Right.
And something terrible happens to them, but oftentimes it's just a normal person and something really bad, but it makes you look upon them in a more favorable light just because of the guilt. Yeah.
Yeah, the victim of something. And it does. Like an example of this, I watch Dateline all the time, and they always do that. For every one of these women, and I'm sure they're very good, nice people and so forth, but they're flawed. I mean, they're human. Mm-hmm. So, and they're always trying, and I mean, it's only tasteful to do that. I mean, they shouldn't like say, well, she slept around all the time, and and then she ended up getting killed. They glamorize as best they can their their upbringing or their current situation, but that's sometimes you feel like, oh, what's she really like? It's like people may have hated her guts,
Yeah.
but she's missing now, and somebody murdered her, I'm sure.
Muck duck.
Yeah.
But I would, well, it sounds better as that's an Office bit. Murder sounds better being murder instead of muck duck.
Oh, okay.
It's more guttural.
I hear you.
I would recommend Climax of those three. If you really want to push yourself, then go for the top dog.
Okay.
Irreversible is like... And I Stand Alone is kind of the middle ground where it's not quite as disturbing, but it's disturbing. I like Climax better than I Stand Alone, though.
Did you explain that plot?
Yeah. The Butcher.
Oh, yeah. You didn't say really...
I don't know what the point of that movie is besides it's just this guy's descent into utter madness. Yeah.
Okay, all right.